Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining with us again. So, we are reflecting in this series of Dhamma reflection. We are reflecting on or from the Gathas or verses available in the Dhammapada. It's a collection of Buddha's advice to monks as well as referring to lay people and their behavior and their moments in life. So we have reached the fourth chapter, which is about flowers, and it is not about flowers as such, but taking an example or taking examples from flowers. The Buddha has nicely laid out how we should conduct ourselves. So we have been looking into in the past about how flower is quite important in Buddhism because it represents a great symbol. I think a couple of days ago I referred to how the lotus flower has become a symbol of purity, and in Buddhism as well, amongst the impurities such as mud, a person who has transformed would rise up the waters to go even beyond and bloom and be liked by everyone. And therefore the Buddha's statues are seen, many of the statues are seen with the Buddha sitting on a lotus flower. It's the symbol of purity, to actually be developed or to be in a developed stage as humans as well. We can achieve that state of transformation, especially indicating or being at the point of not being touched, or to be in the textual context, not to be shaken, not to be affected by the incidents or impurities in the mind or that can come about in our thoughts, yet not to be touched by those thoughts or even the experiences physically and incidents around, and yet not be affected by it. So that is one of the ways that we see in the Buddha's use of flowers. And in other cases, recently we're talking about how we have to distinguish ourselves from external factors and internal factors. But today it is about, and recently we also referred to, before I go to today's point, recently we also referred to how a person who collects flowers, because today's one is the contrast there, a person who collects flowers sometimes will not be satisfied, and in that gatha, in that verse, flowers are referred to as sensual pleasures or sensual expectations. So a person who collects flowers will look at one and start collecting and always continue to collect without getting satisfied with whatever has been collected. When this person sees more beautiful flowers, will again seek for more beautiful and for more beautiful. So we'll continue to collect beautiful flowers and never get satisfied. Similarly, the reference was made to human behavior in terms of seeking pleasure through sense or sensual pleasures, and will not get satisfied. So we'll continue to explore and actually raise the bar for your personal pleasure. But in this one, this Gatha number 53 or verse number 53 has a very different analogy, and it is to do with the living and about a person's actions in terms of meritorious deeds. So yathapi puppara simha kaira mala gune bahu. As from a heap of collected flowers, a person who makes garland will make a lovely garland. So mala kara would be a person who makes garlands. So when a person has lovely flowers, you can then create a lovely ornament or lovely garland of flower that is attractive to many. So it's beautiful. So those days, obviously, flowers as it is today, the more beautiful you create a bouquet, the more attractive it is. The more beautiful the garland is, the more attractive it is. And in terms of a profession those days, people used to make garlands and any ornamental aspect to using flowers, and the royalty to the elite would use flowers not just to adorn themselves, but even to decorate their houses and their places of worship or their rooms and so and so. So from scented ideas, so all the flowers were used in many reasons. So if you look at some Asian or South Asian films, wherever there is flowers, it is all to do with decorations or decorum. It is all to do with creating a nice room, nice house, nice event, and even using flowers to create a nice stage for any performances. And when you greet people, you use flowers, and this garland or this aspect of welcoming even people when people come to houses, or even in marriages, people use flowers to show the acceptance even in the wedding. So when you marry, even in Asian culture, you can see that you put a garland over the spouse's head. Now, a person who creates a lovely flower like this, so evam jatena machena, a person who is therefore mindful of the birth and death, a person who is subject to birth and death, evam jatena machena, who is born in this world, should also do lots of good deeds. So here, the garland or the flowers or the garland made. So from the opportunities of flowers, a person could make the garland or the mala. So jatena machena, so the opportunity by being born a human and a person who is aware of life and death will actually do lots of good deeds. So the garland this person created out of flowers is the good deeds that the Buddha is making reference here. So when we are talking about jatena machena, means a person who is born and is aware. So jatena, a person who is born. So machena, so with a person who is aware of this birth and death will actually continue to make lots of garlands or continue to do lots of good deeds. So two things to take here. So obviously the flower as a garland, and again the life that you have or you're born into as a human, as a conscious, well-aware human, is something not to be ignored. So when you're aware of the changing nature in life, so again, I think we referred some time ago about how when you offer flowers, we are actually meditating. In Buddhism, offering of flowers is simply meditation. Okay, so Puphang milayati yathai dhamme, as these flowers fade away, kayo tathayati vinasa bhavang, my body is also subject to change. And that is the third and the fourth line in the verse. The second verse talks about punyena metena chahota mokkha. Mokkha means freedom here, or moksha, or liberation. What are you going to be liberated from? Or what are you expecting the liberation from? The attachment to your body, the attachment to your ego, the attachment to yourself. So when you offer flowers to the Buddha, we are expecting, may the realization of this change within the body bring liberation into me. So all your passions and your desires, this changing body, when you liberate yourself from it, you will then be free. So mokkha, mokkha, mokkha. Punyena metena cha hotu mokkam. By the merit of this, by the offering, may I have liberation. And I see the liberation here is liberate yourself from the attachment that you have to your body and self. And then when you see this, you actually will see that we are in a transient mode and a transient life. So when we see that, we start valuing life. And when you value life, you know that you are in this continuous cycle of rebirth. So we are going to be born again and again and again. But how is this, or why is this reference made to punya in terms of accumulation of merit? Yes, we are in the sansaric life. Now one, we have to start thinking to be born a human is really, really rare. And therefore, in this rare chance that you have had, we need to make the most out of this while we are still alive. And while we are still alive, we need to accumulate merit as well. So the concept of merit here is quite interesting to see in a traditional and a cultural context, or even in religious context. Merit is important because it is like some sort of, let's say, an account that you have. And when you spend money, the money reduces. So merit is something like that. You do merit, but your life as a human is also due to meritorious stuff that or deeds or meritorious moments in your previous lives. So we are like spending all the merit that we have accumulated in our previous lives. All your gain, all your success, all your fame, everything is because of the merit that you have accumulated in the past lives and done in this life. And the bank will run out. So a person, a jatena machena, a person who is subject to birth and death, and realizing that when you're born a human, you also then need to do more, because we are again, after we die, we are going to go back into the cycle of births. Now, one, there is no guarantee we'll be born a human again, because it all depends on the last moment of the thought processes in this life. According to the Theravada Buddhism, we believe that the last chitta becomes the immediate factor for the next life. So whatever so when we don't know when we are going to die, you cannot plan your death. So you have to be very mindful and make sure you keep your mind pleasant, and hence we talk about being mindful of the way the state of your mind is every time, every moment. So since we do not know when we are about to die, you cannot make an appointment with death. Every day, every moment, we should be living with peace and with good intentions and good habits and positiveness. So since we do not know, we kattabam kusalang bahum. So we should do good deeds. Now here the word merit is also there, but also the word kusala is there. Kusala means skills. And whatever we've been, for the last few months, we've been talking about the skills, about being mindful. And when you're mindful, everything is coming into perspectives. The skills that we need to develop is simply release. Now, even if you look at the offering of flowers, we use the word mokkha, which is freedom or liberation. But to be liberated from what? And it can, whatever it is, and can only be done by skillful means, in which case to apply the understanding of impermanence into your day-to-day life and not to take your life for granted. So in that context, we will then be doing skillful acts to shorten your sansaric life to achieve enlightenment. Yet, since we cannot do it quickly, but we might be able to master quickly as well, so we do not know when our true insight starts coming in. Until that moment, we also need good deeds as punya, so that we can also be born a human and then do more better or more good deeds, so that you can actually be able to practice the Dhamma even as a human, perhaps, and hopefully in the next life as well. So, but aspirations for that is not right, because what we need to think about is maybe here and now we can do this. Here and now we can achieve that insight and liberation. And here and now we can achieve enlightenment with dedicated practice and developing skills. So that is what is quite important in this. Okay, so analogy of flowers being used as the opportunities that you have, yet you create a nice garland that you use for any time, any good moment. Similarly, the receipt or being born a human, or to being born as a human and being born to understand the Dhamma, and even during the Buddha's Dhamma time when it is existing, if we are able to do something good, righteous, meritorious or skillful, punya and kusala, and then we will be able to continue that. And the more we do as a habitual practice, the more it is going to be conducive for the well-being of you here and hereafter. Okay, so two aspects here again. Let me remind you, it is for this life, happiness here, and also happiness hereafter, whether it is whatever life we will be born into. But yet, we aspire to be born a human, because during human time, when you have this rational capacity, you can then again practice the Dhamma well. So we need to remember that evang jatena macchena, as a person who is understanding that life is subject to change, should never waste time. As a human, you should never waste time in doing good deeds. You should never postpone doing good deeds. You should never postpone developing skills. So hence the opportunity that we are providing you is practice the Dhamma, listen to the Dhamma. Constant reminder of the Dhamma is important for our dedicated practice. And eventually we will be able to come to a state where we can acquire the skills for the true realization, or what we would call insight, and then attain the blissful state of Nibbana. Okay, so tomorrow I will refer to the story related to this and continue with this. So the essence of today is simply, very simple. When you are born a human, don't waste time. Make sure you know what you are doing, because we never know when we can pass away, when death might approach. It may be too late. So taking the opportunity when you are born a human, which is very rare in this samsaric life. Yet it is also very rare to be born when the Buddha's teachings are there. Make use of it. Don't waste time. Don't postpone good deeds. Don't postpone your good skills that you can develop, such as meditation. Don't think meditation and good deeds are for old age. And there are lots of people who think, when I'm unable, I will then do this. No, meditation is for day-to-day living. Meditation is for 24 hours. It's not just for 5 minutes sitting. But we do practice within the 5-minute sitting of how to truly realize the nature of the mind. Okay, so tomorrow I will refer to the story behind, which is very important for a good family life and good living. And with that reference point, we will come to the close of today's Dhamma reflection. Okay, so that was the advice or reference given by the Buddha. If you are born a human and if you are in a good state of mind, it is important to not postpone good deeds and skills that you could develop when you are quite conscious and when you are still breathing. So this is the essence of the Gatha today, because we always have the habit of procrastinating and postponing things, because we are deluded with sense pleasures and we forget that we might miss the opportunity to understand the Dhamma and practice the Dhamma. So kattabang kusalang bhavang, always do good deeds whenever possible, however possible, and it will be for your own good here and hereafter. So now let us do meditation. 3 requests. Sit straight, balanced body. So do not rest your arms. If you are leaning on your sofa, maybe just come a bit forward, unless you have a physical difficulty. And then once your body is straight, once you've adjusted yourself, your right hand on your left palm to keep your hands to yourself, and gently close your eyes. Simply be still. So don't even start scratching or moving once you've decided this is the posture. So we've been developing this skills on loving kindness by embedding mindfulness. Because when you are mindful, then only you can be kind. So simply just observe the stillness in your body at the moment. Just observe the immobile or the body not in motion, the body that is not restless. See it. It's very different from other times when your body is always wanting something, even something that is pleasing for the body, such as your sitting posture. It's always looking for something, even the body. It's wanting easiness. Your mind wants the body to be easy as well. So at the moment it is very still. So be thankful to yourself first. Praise yourself that you are able to commit now. If there are any family members sitting with you, just be mindful of their presence. Appreciate each other's support during this hour. If there are other members not participating with you, it's okay. No comments, don't criticize. Simply be happy for their happiness. Let it go. Free your mind from that. A quick scan around you, the infrastructure or just the room that you are in. And this is simply to understand how still the environment is at the moment where you are. Your body is still. Things around you are still, and if they are family, friends, they are still as well. And bring that attention to your mind now. Is it still? Can you make it still like your body? And when you say still, it is about being mindful of the present moment, which means you don't let it wander, because wandering is expecting things or expecting excitement or entertainment. So when we look for things, we get dissatisfied because we can't get something from the past, neither can we get anything from the future plannings. So we get dissatisfied by going back to memories. So don't let it distract you, because you can't change memories. You can't change the stories behind memories. So therefore we have to free ourselves from all those thinking, all those distractions. Simply let it go and come back to this quiet and peaceful moment. Freedom. There is so much happiness in this stillness because we are not looking for things, not expecting things, not attached to your likes, not attached to your fixed views. We are free from that. The moment we proliferate or start developing or analyzing, we are laying out conditions and bringing into forefront a filtering process. So let go of all those ideas, let go of expectations and conditions. Then there is stillness inside. And just observe that stillness for a while. So if your mind was wandering, just notice what it was looking for. It was always looking for what you want and what you like. So make it a habit to free yourself from everything. Don't stay in the thoughts, don't stay in the memories. It always brings unhappiness and dissatisfaction. Let it go. The more you cling to those, the more there is dissatisfaction. And when there is dissatisfaction with all the conditions you may have, and when you interact with people with that memory, you may develop impatience and anger. Those memories that bring those impatience and anger are very unhealthy. Free yourself from that. Sad memories, unhappy moments, they all bring unhappiness. So don't look for those or don't visit them. As soon as it comes into your mind, let it go. Complete freedom is where happiness is. Freeing yourself from those conditions and emotions, freeing yourself from expectations, brings happiness. Where there is anger, there is impatience. When we let go of those things, there is patience and forgiveness. When you can forgive, there will be no ill will in your thoughts. There will be no anger. There is no ill wishing, simply well-wishing. So this well-wishing thought is loving kindness. And that is only possible with that stillness that you have. That kindness will not change once you realize what it is. Once you know this is kindness and this is happiness, let's cherish it and not let others or anything disturb it. And this well-wishing thought can be practiced in this way. So just contemplate on these lines. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May I be free from anger and jealousy. May I be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May I be free from pain and suffering. So similar thoughts can be shared with the well-wishing attitude that you have. So when you recall the people or the stations, remember happy moments or bring happy faces into your mind and genuinely wish well for them. If someone has passed away or you're not related, just skip the stations. May my parents, grandparents, teachers, uncles and aunts, in-laws, husband, wife or spouse, partner, children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews and nieces, friends and colleagues, neighbors, and some neutral people that you meet daily. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from anger and jealousy. May they be free from frustration, anxiety and worries. May they be free from pain and suffering. May all living beings, including your pets, birds, animals and insects that come to your garden, seen and unseen beings, including all sentient beings, be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. Okay, that brings us to the close of today's session. So thank you for joining us so far. As you know or you may not know, we go live at 6:30 British Standard Time every day, every evening from London Mindfulness Meditation Center, helping you to observe religious practices or participate in the observations we have at this center, daily Buddha Puja and chanting to bless you all for your good health, happiness, success and prosperity, and especially during this lockdown time and pandemic time, we wish you good health from here every day. And we also spend some time reflecting on the Dhamma and listening to the Dhamma and practicing what we learn day to day into our day-to-day lives by embedding the skills that we learn from the Dhamma, and especially during this rains retreat time. It is important that we enhance and deepen our knowledge and deepen our practice. So may all the merit accumulated today by your participation, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May you gain good health and enjoy good health throughout. So with those kind intentions, we wish you all the very best. Have a nice evening and stay safe. Take care. And see you tomorrow at 6:30 again.